Hi, today's bar class is going to sculpt us from head to toe using a mini band. Welcome to Wealthy Boss. My name's Mariah. Every week I bring you new bar, yoga, and Pilates workouts. So if you like that type of thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now today we're going to be utilizing either a booty kicker, which is a portable bar, or if you don't have one of those, a counter, a couch, anything that's a little bit sturdy, since we will be pressing some weight into it, and then a mini band. I have a fabric mini band. You can use a plastic mini band, whatever you like, and let's get started. We're gonna start our warm-up without the bands and without the bar, just giving me some alternating rear lunges. So both knees bend as you step back behind you. Feet come together, take it to the other side. Starting to find our balance here today. We want to get that heart rate up a little bit before we start our muscular endurance portion of the workout. This means that we are going to have more elasticized tissue, meaning that we can get deeper into the poses and get more out of the work. We're going to have a smart warm-up and a powerful, not super long, but just super powerful practice today. Let's find two more. And then just take it side to side. So we're going for some side lunges. So one leg stays straight. Yeah. We're really sinking the weight back behind us. We don't want to feel any pain in the knees. And then what if we added a little rotation? So you don't necessarily have to touch the ground, but if it's available to you, of course you can. Top hand, more importantly, is reaching up towards the sky so we can find some nice rotation in that spine. We always want to work that spine in all three directions, forward and backwards, side to side, and in rotation. This work helps keep us healthy during the times that we're not working out. So it's not just about sculpting our bodies, although we'll definitely do that. It's about helping us move better in everything that we do, making the body balanced and even and strong. You got it. And we're gonna round that out with one more on each side. From here, turning those toes out so we're nice and wide into a second position or a plie. And what we're doing is we're gonna sink down low, like into a goddess pose or plie with goalpost arms, if you will. Straighten the legs, give me a little hip hinge. Good, a goddess pose. Straighten into hip hinge. We're kind of borrowing this from our warm-up section on our BALLETONE workouts, which are another super fun workout you can look up on my channel. Yeah, just getting a little bit of flexibility in those hamstrings. Now the next time that you take that hip hinge, I want you to reach for the ground. The feet are nice and wide. Maybe even take them a little bit wider as you bend deeply into one knee. Take the hips low and then find it on the other side. The hands can kind of trace the ground to help you in that way. You're only sinking as low as feels comfortable on the knees, but we are getting a nice stretch in the hamstrings, inner thighs, groin. We're getting nice and open with those hips. And then coming back towards center, we're gonna toe heel those feet in towards each other. And then from here, take it all the way down onto the mat. We're coming into a bear pose from yoga. So it's like a downward dog with deeply bent knees, pressing arms away from the mat. And then from here, it's right back into a little plank position. So legs straighten. We're gonna tap the right and the left shoulders and then press it back into that bear pose. Take it forward into a little hovering plank. Tap right, tap left. Bear pose is next. Keep alternating. See if you can keep those hips still for me as you rotate to tap right and left shoulder. And then from here, it's just a straighten and bend in the knees. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Last one for me, please. That's our warm-up. So go ahead and press the weight back into those heels. We're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time, getting repositioned over by our booty kicker. And if you don't have a booty kicker, again, you just wanna make sure you've got something that is sturdy, like the back of a chair or counter, I'm sorry, the back of a couch or counter, something that's not gonna give when you put a little bit of weight into it. So we're gonna take our bands, and I'm using the lightest band of my super heavy set. So if you have more like kind of the stretchier band, you might go a little heavier. I'm gonna put it around my thighs. Now you could also put it around your ankles if you want a little extra, but just make sure that that is feeling good for you. And then from here, you're going to give me a little squat facing that bar. Add a knee flare at the bottom, rise up and come up into the lifted heels. We call this releve. And again, it's a squat, a little knee flare here, rise and releve. So you could experiment with the band around your ankles or around your knees for a little more or a little less based on what you need today. You're using that bar for balance right now. You can go a little deeper into your squats maybe. Give me 2 more, please. And of course, you know that does not mean we are done with squats. I want you to find your lowest position of your squat, maybe a little lower, as long as it's okay with your knees. We want you to be okay in your knees. Now we're gonna keep the heels down. Give me a little 8 half ranges up, 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 up. We're only lifting halfway. Stay low. Last 2. And then again with the heels lifted. So we're standing on that bottom half of that squat, heels lifted, which makes us feel a little bit differently. Finish out for 3. Here's 2. Here's 1, and then lower down, pause here. So we're finding the lowest portion of the squat again, just those little knee flares. Give me a little press, out, 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 out. Yes, good old abduction here, working the outer thighs. Now could you give me a 1-inch pulse up, lower down 1 inch, give me a little knee flare out, and repeat. So it's up, down, out, return. Up, down, out, return. Keep going. Let's check in with the posture. Want to make sure we're not rounding in the spine here. How's that booty doing? I got a nice fun finisher for you here at the end. Are you ready for it? Let's give it a go. So we've got 2 options today for a little cardio burst. You can hold onto that bar and just go as fast as you can to get that heart rate up. Or if you wanted a little extra, keeping that band where it is, maybe step kind of wiggle away from the bar for a sec, and we're gonna do little squat jumps. Yes, you can, one or the other. We can either go through speed or we can go for those squat jumps. We got 15 more seconds on the clock, whatever you choose, and it's totally cool to alternate back and forth between them. Oh yeah, give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk it out. This is a great time to grab a sip of water. The next movement we do is going to be a little bit away from the bar, and we're going to step out of that band, this time positioning it around the outside of the wrists. So we're going to do a little arm work in as we also sculpt that lower body. So palms are facing in. I'm going to face you so you can see me. We're going to have a nice little plie here. Elbows are bent and towards the body. And then as we plie, we're going to extend the arms long. Pop the heels at the bottom and then press the arms away from each other. Lower back the heels back down as we come back up. Bend those elbows in. So those arms are reaching out behind you, a little tricep press. Yep. Good, just a little combination movement here. So when we stand, those elbows are bent. We straighten them out as we lower. There's a little squeeze as we lift those heels. Yes. So this does not have to happen quickly. We do want to be watching our form here. So you want to feel like you're dragging those heels towards each other to light up the inner thighs. The knees are pressing away from each other so that we find those hips in an externally rotated position. And guess what? Those shoulders are pretty nice and upright. Of course, with the little tricep extension, we might find ourselves hinging forward just a touch, but we're pulling the abdominals in to make sure to protect that spine. How are those arms doing? Whew, this one just gets you real fast, especially with one of these heavy bands. I love these bands. They're amazing. You're just not going to see a lot of movement from them because it takes so much work. Yes, yes, yes. Alrighty, we're going to re-bend those elbows and then lower a little bit lower. Find the bottommost portion of that plie. Now I want you to take the arms long again. We're going to go half range up with the legs. And the low, we're back down. Halfway up with the legs, lower back down. Just steady pressure right now into that band. You got it. Now could you bend and straighten the elbows along with the half range? So it's a little straighten as you rise, bend as you lower. Straighten as you rise, bend as you lower. Draw those shoulder heads away from each other. Yes, yes, yes. Now find your static hold with your legs. So we're going as low as the legs are going to go today. Give me a little just lower and lift with the band. So the long arms are staying long. It's just a lift towards the sky. Take it back down. Lift towards the sky. Take it back down. I know. But you make this look so good. All right, dig a little bit deeper for me here. Go a little bit lower. And then the arms now are just pressing a little bit out, 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 out for a 4, 3, 2, 1. Why don't you come all the way up? That feels so good to get out of that position. All right, we're gonna keep the band around our wrists, and we're still away from the bar as well, so kind of minimize the transition time here. We're gonna alternate a little curtsy lunge. Our arms are in a forward goal post position, and we're just kind of pressing them out to the side. So if I was in a stretchier band, kind of one of the more plasticky bands, my elbows may go as wide as my shoulders. Certainly that's not the case with these heavier fabric bands. So just a little press out, and out, and out. I know it looks like my arms aren't even moving, but I promise you my shoulders are working hard. Keep it going. So a little alternate side to side of that curtsy lunge. Both knees are bending. Okay, we're gonna next keep it over on the right side now. So the next time that you step out to the right side, I want you to go a little bit lower into that curtsy lunge if that's available to you. Arms are gonna come straight for me, and then the arms just press away from each other as you lift up halfway with the legs. Take it back down, arms relax a little, and then take it back up. So the knees are not fully straightening, they're just coming up halfway. Arms are just giving a little press out. Yep. Oh my goodness, those shoulders are really working. How about 4, 3, 2, 1. You're in your lowest curtsy lunge. Arms stay long, and it's just a lower and lift the arms, just kind of steady pressure, like you could try to separate that band another inch wider. Lower and lift. The legs are staying still. Yes, this is amazing. And then I want you to turn the palms face forward for me. Reach the fingertips up to the sky, but watch the shoulders. We want to relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And then as you take the arms into a little lat pull down, so elbows come wide, I want you to extend your back leg, just straighten it out and then rebend it. Straighten it out and then rebend it. You're combining it with that lat pull. The feet are not moving. The back knee joint is just straightening and bending. How's that back feeling? So good to work the whole body at one time, isn't it? Here's 3, 2, and 1. Well, if you're as smart as I think you are, you probably figured out that yes, we have another side to do with the legs, but guess what that means for the arms? Yep, they're gonna get a double dose of strength today. So we're gonna do the same thing with the arms, but the legs, we gotta repeat. So we're starting on the left side this time. And it's halfway up as we just press those arms away from each other, keeping them long, and then come back down. Halfway up, come back down. Notice now, because your shoulders are getting tired, if they're kind of collapsing forward, we're really lift this heart space. How's your breathing? Are we still breathing? I would love it if the answer to that is yes. Awesome. We have our static hold next. I want you to find your lowest curtsy lunge. Arms are just going to lower and lift. Steady pressure into that band. We're strengthening the lower body. We're working on our balance. We're strengthening shoulders. We're mindful of our posture and alignment. So many good things happening at once. Yeah, there it is. Now that back knee starts to straighten and bend as we take it into a little back pull here, a little lat pull down. So elbows come wide. Yes. Keep going. You got this. How about 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well, I've got some good news. The arms are gonna get a little bit of a break, but the legs don't. So kind of a good news, bad news situation. Let's shimmy out of the band from those arms, and this time we're gonna put it around the thighs. Now, of course, if the thighs don't feel comfortable for you, you can always go a little bit lower, but with the attitude, it's probably gonna feel kind of the most natural to have it around the outside of the thigh so it doesn't slip and slide everywhere. So we're moving into our attitude. So we're going to be perpendicular to the bar. I mean, that bar is going to be on at our side. And I'd like you to take that outside leg, lift it into a little attitude so the knee comes straight out behind you, just like you were tracing the line of a tail behind you. And then we're going to add a little rotation as we reach for the ground. So it's almost like a little curtsy lunge, but the back leg is lifted. So as we stand up, give me a little attitude, and then dip it down for that rotation. So that top hand can remain on the bar for balance, giving us an opportunity to go a little bit deeper in our rotation. When we come up to stand for that attitude, I want you to stand so tall with the belly to hug in, just like you're posing on stage at the end of a ballet performance. This movement is borrowed from ballet, so we're gonna channel that inner ballerina. You got it. How about 2 more? Yes, and then I want you to stay hinged forward. Go ahead and take the outside hand to the hip, and then that lifted knee dips to the outside of the calf, so both knees bend, reach to the other side. Then we're gonna take it over straight behind us for a warrior 3. We're holding on to the ballet bar for balance, and it's a little dip to the outside of the calf, and then straight forward to warrior 3. Dip, hips come square as you come into that warrior 3 from yoga pose. Woo! We got so much good stuff going on for the lower body right now. How about 2? Here's 1. Come back up to standing now, and we're gonna move through that attitude series at the highest height. So we're taking it all the way up, but only halfway down. All the way up, just lower it a little bit. We're not lowering the entire way. Yes, hello, derriere. So good to sculpt our glutes. They're the biggest muscle in our body. They are important. Now give me 1-inch pulses. Really important here now that you might start to get a little bit fatigued, that you stand up as tall as you can, that you hug the belly in. Here's 3, 2, 1. Now the knee is gonna come by the other one. So now the foot is just kind of reaching straight behind us. We no longer, have our hip externally rotated, and it's just a little lift out to the side of that knee for some standing abduction. Stay as straight as possible, again, still with this one. Yes. Oh my goodness. Now how about little tiny pulses at the top, just 1 inch. Just 1 inch, it's slow, it's controlled. And if you're using a really heavy band like me, your knees may not have that much space between them. Here's 3, 2, 1. We've got to do this on the other side, but we're gonna have a little fun getting there. I'd like you to face that bar for me. We're gonna take the heels together, toes apart, lift the heels, what we call our releve position, and then reposition them back together so the heels are touching. We're gonna bend the knees a little bit and then give me a little something from the dance floor as we do a hip shake. Right and left, come up, right and left, low right, low left, up right, up left. Now pause at the top, squeeze the thighs together, and we'll take it in the opposite direction. So it's down, down, up, up. That's left, right, left, right. One more time, please. Squeeze those legs together at the top, lower back down, and then I will turn with my back to you so you can see what this looks like on the other side, since we do want to hold on to that bar for support. So we move a little attitude up behind towards the tailbone, and then move it into that rotation. Yep. So that back leg stays lifted the whole time for this series. Remember, how tall can you stand as you move that knee behind you for your attitude. Whew. You don't have to work out for hours and hours when you're working out intelligently. One more, please. And then stay low, bottom hand comes to hip, and it's a little reach of that knee towards the outside of the other calf, and then stretch it forward and back for warrior 3. Little cross the body here, and then take it long, forward and back, straight lines for the torso and leg. Ooh, it feels good to move our bodies. So grateful to be able to continue working on our mobility and our strength, and the ability to take some ownership over how we move through this life. There it is. Now could you come up nice and tall, just that attitude? We're going to stay on the higher half now, so it's as high as it wants to go without arching into the back. So that's our little accountability check. Keep it going. Now just 1 inch pulses up, 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 up. My goodness, my friend, you are so, so strong. For 3, 2, 1. Now both hips face forward, knees are parallel. Just take it out to the side and return. Side, return. We're working our gluteus medius here. It is important for keeping everything balanced and healthy, preventing knee pain, preventing back pain. This is not just a fun way for me to torture you. There's a reason that we do this. Now how about just 1 inch pulses at the top, and lift, and lift, and lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we got more to do still. We are going to be facing the bar now. We're standing in releve, and we want to reposition, actually before we lift those heels, we want to reposition that band so that it is kind of between the mid calf and right above the knees. Now, if you are using a lighter band and want a little extra, you could take it around your ankles, but only if you're not feeling any pain or tension in the back knee when you do that. So you can experiment, see what work feels like you're getting the most bang for your buck. Now those heels lift, we are going to bend the right knee and try to tap that left leg behind us. You could either tap it on the ground, or it may feel like you get a little extra burn when you leave the leg lifted. Return to upright, and we're gonna stay on the same side. So same side. Ooh. Hello quads, hello glutes. It's that tension of resisting that band to try to extend that leg long behind us that makes this so great. Yes, there it is. Woo. Let's be so controlled with these. Let's watch our posture and our alignment. And then I want you to hold the next one. Hold, hold, hold. Keeping the bend in that front knee, the long leg is going to start to tap, do little rainbow taps. We're tapping the ground to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. We'll really resist against that band as though you could stretch that leg back a little bit longer for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and step it in, lower the heels just for a second, and we'll try that on the other side. Heels lift, opposite knee bends, and you're reaching it back behind you, and then return to standing. Back behind you, return to standing. Ooh, really press against that band. Your muscles are getting so strong here. We're looking at 3, 2, 1. Hold it out behind you. Rainbow taps are next. There they are. Really try to create more distance between that band from right to left. Here's 3, 2, and 1. That feels good to come out of that. We are going to shimmy that band down around the ankles this time. We're going to walk the feet back a little bit for some push-ups. So as we prepare for these push-ups, we want to pick up the right foot and flex it to try to keep that band in place. So we're getting a little bonus core work here. We're going to do a little push-up, straighten the arms, and then take the knee to the right and to the left. Back to the center we go for the next push-up, and then a little cross to the right, to the left. Again, getting a little transverse core work here as well as our upper body work. So good. Last time on this side. And let's try it on the other side. So without skipping a beat, right to the push-up, and then straighten the arms right and left. Whew. Let's make sure those shoulders aren't wanting to scrunch up around the ears. We want to keep them down. Very good. Last one, please. Awesome. It's time to join me down on the floor now for a little bit of core work, still utilizing these bad boys, these mini bands. And you could go a little heavier with these if you wanted to. I'm just going to use the same one for ease. We're coming onto our side. Now, if this bothers your hip at all, you could double up that mat or maybe tuck a towel underneath your hip. But we're going to take a little Pilates move here. We're obviously having to separate those ankles to keep that band from getting droopy. And then both legs are going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. We're actually sculpting the side of our waist here along with some little outer thigh work. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. A side plank is next, and we are keeping that band around our ankles. So what that means is we're going to do a little hip abduction here at the top. Don't let that band drop, and then we're going to roll over into a push-up, and then give me a little tap right, tap left. Now, could you go back to the original side plank? So same side. So we're just doing the side plank on one side. We'll be able to get to the other side when we move to the other series on the other side. Oh my goodness gracious, you are always welcome to omit anything that doesn't sound fun to you. But I personally think having a little challenge can be fun. Last one. And then we're gonna come all the way down onto the ground. We're gonna extend the bottom arm long, heels together, toes open, and give me little clamshells. So it's a little squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. We're trying to keep that top hip so still in space. You might even take your pointer finger and find that hip. See if you can keep it really calm and still. Picture a wall behind you that's preventing that top hip from moving back in space. Now just little 1-inch pulses up, 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 up. Yes, I know. Ooh la la. Now relax the bottom leg. Top leg comes forward on a diagonal. Give me a little lift, 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 lift. Here's 3, 2, and 1. I know. Your outer hips are talking to you. Well, I'd say it's time that we go ahead and move to the other side then. So we're gonna do a little swingaroo. Starting with that side lying leg lift, double leg lift. Top arm can come to the ground for support, but let's keep those shoulders open. Using the strength of the side of your waist to lift those legs off the ground. Maybe it's just a tiny, tiny bit. Maybe it's just imaginary. That's all good too. Really thinking about it, pulling in through the sides of the waist, just really cinching in. Use your exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Here's 2, here's 1. Side plank is next. So we're coming up in a long arm and give me a little lift to that leg and then roll over another push-up. Top of the push-up, it's a little tap right, tap left, back to that same side plank. Little lift to that leg and then push up, step right, step left. Let's keep that going, or of course you can always choose to take a break, but let's try to stay as even from one side as we can to the other. Whew, we're getting some nice upper body movement in here as well. Total body workout today. And last one. So good. We're gonna come onto the ground now and move into that clamshell series. The toes are apart, heels are together, and it's a lift of those knees and lower. Little lift, little lower. Big focus today on outer thigh work. We want that body to be toned and even, and oftentimes this is a part of the body that can get a little bit overlooked. Now give me 1-inch pulses at the top, little lift, 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 lift. How still can you keep those hips as you do this? Now extend the top leg forward, bottom leg relaxes, and without letting that top hip come forward, give me a little lift, lift, lift. I know. Yep, you can do this, I promise. For 3, 2, 1, go ahead and roll onto your back, please. We're gonna finish with just one Pilates roll-up. So we're coming up nice and tall, peeling navel in towards the spine, segmenting the spine as we roll down one bone at a time. Arms come overhead as we inhale. So slowly do you want to pull back up, pulling the abdominals up and in, keeping those feet as close to the ground as possible. Come all the way up, and great job. Well, I sure hope you feel like $1,000,000 now. Drop me a comment below and let me know how you're feeling. I'd like to take a moment to share just a little bit about my favorite portable bar, the Booty Kicker.
The Booty Kicker is my favorite freestanding bar. I used to not really love freestanding bars because you can't put any weight against them. The Booty Kicker changes all that. It's portable, it's collapsible so that it can store easily under a bed or in the corner of a closet. But most importantly, it's designed so that you can put weight against it. This means you can do your flat back foldovers. It means it can help support with balance, push-ups. You can tie resistance tubing to it. This is such a game changer for at-home bar workouts, and I can't wait for you to try it. It even has this cool optional iPad accessory so that you can follow along with workouts from yours truly. Click the link in the description below for information on how to get your booty kicker.